I'm Ryan O'Dowd, and you're listening to Ryan's Audiobooks on the Issues Magazine YouTube channel. Today we're starting with a new book, The Book of the Order of Celestial Integration. We'll pick up in section 3.1, First Principles. 1. Culture can be created intentionally. A. Culture is software that governs human interactions. B. Culture has inertia. C. Through intentional action by force under will, culture supersedes culture. 2. There will always be resistors. A. Cultural inertia expresses itself through tradition. B. The typical psychosocial state is tradition. C. Overcome tradition through intentional action by force under will. 3. Action is preferable to inaction. A. In the time of trial, intuition leads. B. The goal is to act like you're on fire. C. If your opponent traps you, flip the board over. 4. Imagination is a weapon. A. Through imagination we construct social blueprints. B. Through imagination we create new ideas. C. Through imagination we create new gods. 5. All you see is the past. A. All we see is light. B. Light only shows what used to be. C. You can study the light to transcend it. 6. Will founds the future. A. Overcome tradition by planning and execution. B. Transform the present through intentional action by force under will. C. The future is yours. 7. Freedom is a projection. A. Freedom is the manifestation of your intention. B. Freedom is the construction of your future. C. Freedom subverts known form. 8. The self is a project. A. Building your future is a matter of construction. B. You become your future. C. You become your creation. 9. You are limitless. A. You overcome restraint. B. All outside influences are merely tradition. C. Build new culture by bathing in the infinite. FP2. Anything said out of fear is false. Those who are afraid are untrustworthy. The manipulative lie to get what they want. They and the anxious both lie to avoid retribution. The difference is that the anxious lie and get nothing for it. Strength is the ability to overcome conflict. Fear of conflict leads to submission. There is no freedom in submission. The submissive fear conflict. The submissive are anxious. The submissive lie and get nothing for it. FP3. There are untold layers of delusion wrapping the minds of the public. Humanity is violence. The closer to power one gets, the hotter the breath of violence becomes. Those who feel safe are the farthest from power. Cultures are mindsets. Emergent mindsets manifest through new cultures. Civilizations mark these tendencies. Where mindsets meet, cultures clash. These clashes manifest as real acts of violence. The public doesn't see the reality of the mindset. The public is subject to the mindset. The mindset, the culture, lives in the heads of individuals. Culture is a virus. It replicates itself in the minds of individuals. Where competing viruses meet, conflicts arise. Imagine a fungus that infects the mind of an ant, leading to its death. This fungus in human minds is called culture. Culture like a petri dish. Culture like our mental clothing. Those living under culture usually cannot see it. They are fully infected by the fungus. When they see eruptions of conflict, they feel fear. The fungus within them prevents them from understanding. They imagine the violence is random. The fear they feel causes them to retreat into their cultural assumptions. These cultural assumptions are the layers of delusion wrapping their minds. The truth is, these very cultures are what manifest the violence. Humanity is violence, because what humans retreat into when they feel fear is the cause of violent conflict. FP4. It is best never to have sex. If one does have sex, it is wise to come outside the body. If one does come inside, it is wise to come in asses or mouths. It is wise not to come in the birth canal. Children, though precious and worthy of protection, are not desirable to create. Heterosexuals who have children, even though children should be cherished and protected, are unwise. Pregnancy will be abolished. It will be abolished voluntarily. A person, pregnant or not, has control over their own body. Abortion should be protected and cherished. It is not wise to interfere with a person's ability to have an abortion. It is not wise to interfere with a person's ability to use gene therapy for their child. It is not wise to interfere with a person's ability to choose whatever medical care is best for them. It is not wise to make laws designed to control another person's body. It is wise not to have sex. If one has sex, it is wise not to come in the birth canal. If one comes in the birth canal, it is wise not to get pregnant. If one gets pregnant, it is wise to have an abortion. If one does not have an abortion, the child must be protected and cherished. The ability to make this decision is solely in the hands of the person who is pregnant. This is an absolute. FP5. You are a creative force of boundless potential, up until now limited by the cultural code written by those who lived before you. Every day the news, government, business, and others write a running narrative. This narrative is designed to put words in your mouth. They express their opinions in such a way that should you desire, their opinions later come out of your mouth. In general, those who write these narratives do not have your interest at heart. In fact, they do not even know you. They have their own agenda. They desire to get you to voice their words so that you help to meet their program. You might actually agree with them. You might share their agenda. Whether you do or do not is not the point. What matters to whoever is writing the narrative is that you put forward their agenda. Obviously, this includes me writing this very book, so keep that in mind. What does this mean for you? Well, in theory, if you remain aware of this, it might not mean anything. If you allow yourself to believe that you agree with them, and you start to parrot them, then you may find yourself a victim of their agenda. So watch out for that. There are at least two basic approaches to this knowledge. One person hears, sees, or reads something, and they repeat what they have heard. That is the wrong approach. The other person hears, sees, or reads something and challenges it, even if they agree with it. This is key. The free individual challenges even what they agree with. All things become subject to the mind of the free individual. The mind of the free person puts all knowledge to the test. Should they find it holds up, then they might consider agreeing with it. Even then, before they should speak of it, they need to synthesize it with what they already know. How does this new piece of information work into what I already know? Is it contradictory? If so, do I need to change my way of thinking? If it is contradictory, is the information at fault, or is my thinking at fault? Is there a way these things can work together? Truth is not only that which conforms to your current way of thinking. Truth is the best idea you can have of how all the information you know might fit together. Maybe the information contradicts your way of thinking because your way of thinking needs to change. Even if not, do not reject it. Maybe you should search for first principles. FP6. Being versus doing. U.S. culture places identity in being. Many act as though this is self-evident. Discussions are had everywhere about the need to be who you are, or for the need to be who an idol, say Jesus, once was. From places as far-flung as religious sanctuaries to left-wing college groups, you can hear this common appeal to definition by being. It goes something like this. Quote, I am blank because that is who I am. I already exist as something and therefore must act like it. I feel deeply and therefore must define myself by how I feel. End quote. The problem is that this places identity firmly in the realm of the reactive. Who we perceive ourselves to be comes from that which we cannot control. We've created ourselves based on reaction to the world around us. This traps our identity in an endless reactive process. This means we can't decide our identity. This means we act as though we have no freedom to create who we are. Despite the seductive nature of being-based identity, with its rich emotional experience and feelings of validation, it ends up being our prison. To find a way out of the reactive, reactionary creation of our identity by others, we must will to destroy the being identity and embrace an identity based on doing. The accidental zealots of beingness identity proudly claim to be defined by beingness. Sometimes self-beingness, sometimes God-beingness, but always beingness. This is not what a member of OCI desires. Being is a consequence of action, not the other way around. It is not that you already are and therefore must do. It is that you decide to be, do what you must, and then become. The idolatry of being, if left unabated, would reflexively recycle the same forever. It would manifest in tradition, unaltered, forever. It would appeal to the same emotions, to the same cultural fetishes, to the same assumptions, forever. The OCI does not seek to replicate what is. This means we cannot be defined by what is. This means we reject justification by appeals to being. We are not yet. We will ourselves to be. We act by will. By our own hands, we are. Be what you aren't. FP7. Marriage is useless and is not encouraged. Nothing is forbidden. You are the sculptor. Your marble is yourself. Institutions of all kinds are subject to these guidelines. Trust no one that represents one. Doubt the sincerity of their cause. Interact with one only if you have to. If you must join one, subvert it. In the end, they all die. For now, do what you can to mutilate them. It's not that you own the place. It's that no one does. No one can. FP08. Do not take literal the spiritual. Do not allegorize the literal. Take all letters within their words. Take all words within their sentences. Take all sentences within their paragraphs. Take all paragraphs within their chapters. Take all chapters within their books. Take all books within an author's milieu. Take every author within the sum of your knowledge, and take the sum of your knowledge to constant self-scrutiny. FP9. The following are the suggestions of a god to a god. Melt down and throw away all morality. Melt down and throw away all law. Melt down and throw away all religion. Melt down and throw away all ethnicity. Melt down and throw away all political allegiance. Melt down and throw away all philosophy. Melt down and throw away all justification. Melt down and throw away all reasoning. Melt down and throw away all social relations. Utterly destroy the fetish of martyrdom. Utterly destroy the fetish of sainthood. Utterly destroy the fetish of tribe. Utterly destroy the fetish of rule. Utterly destroy the fetish of culture. Utterly destroy the fetish of nation. Utterly destroy the fetish of property. Utterly destroy the fetish of comfort. Utterly destroy the fetish of familiarity. Vanquish all tradition. Vanquish all heroics. Vanquish all pretenders. Vanquish all owners. Vanquish all kings. Vanquish all relatives. Vanquish all finance. Vanquish all assumptions. Vanquish all externally imposed identity. Only then, build for yourself by yourself a barometer of action. Set for yourself by yourself the code to live by. Impose on yourself by yourself the discipline to live it. Expect nothing from others to force you to do so. Expect nothing from others to get them to join you. Become your judge as to the success of carrying this out. Become your law in enforcing your rule upon yourself. Strengthen your godhood for your own benefit. Only then will your actions benefit anyone besides yourself. It will no longer matter. FP10. Goals of the Prime Initiate. 1. Eternal life. A. To use technology to extend human life. B. To manipulate DNA to build biologically immortal people. C. To give away all such technology to ordinary people, for them to do with as they will. 2. Decentralize power. A. To build a carbon-neutral electric grid. B. To teach ordinary people how to maintain it. C. To put control of the grid into the hands of ordinary people. 3. Sustainability. A. To teach ordinary people how to grow and harvest their own food. B. To do so in a carbon-neutral way. C. To put control of food in the hands of ordinary people. D. To expand wilderness and green spaces. E. To teach ordinary people how to maintain those spaces. F. To put control over these spaces into their hands. 4. Automation. A. To eliminate difficult and repetitive work. B. To efficiently plan the economy. C. To liberate human time. 5. Education. A. To give away access to knowledge on any subject desired. B. To teach logic and critical thinking as a discipline to ordinary people. C. To encourage dissent, debate, and intellectual pursuits. 6. Space travel. A. To initiate a great building project, the tower. B. To build a real space elevator. C. To power it in a carbon-neutral way. D. To teach ordinary people how to operate it. E. To put it in the hands of ordinary people. F. To bring humanity into outer space. To do all these things in pursuit of autonomy, ecology, technology, and community. The binary rule. You are responsible for the objects around you, but you own nothing. You are dependent upon others, but your body and mind are yours. FP11. Our 6 foundations. 1. Materia. 2. Our members. 3. The tower. 4. Achieving Godhood. 5. The great frontier. 6. Lucifer Sophia. Ave Lucifer, Ave CHAO, Ave Materia, Ave Order, Ave Self. FP12. Materia. Materia is our source, is the string that binds us. She is matter and energy. She is fundamental force. All others will soon know. She is reversed causality. Materia is cement and electricity, animated life. Source writ in subatomic glue, broken down, accessed at base level in a forgotten moment. A pierced fortune becomes beginning, middle, and end. She is us, and we transform her. FP13. Our members. Our members are anyone who claims us. Our religious devotees are those who align with us. You can belong to any other religions, or not at all, and still belong to OCI. We do not require payment or labor for basic membership. We have 3 circles of membership. 1. Those who claim us and agree with our goals. 2. Ones who also purchase our book and support us financially. 3. Ones and twos who also receive initiation to become priests of the order. We are a decentralized network of communities. We are united by common projects, not by commandments. We welcome anyone into initiation who desires it. That means you. FP14, the tower. The tower is a project. The tower is a physical object. The tower is an internal ascent. The physical tower will be a space elevator powered by geothermal energy. It will allow humanity to send automated mining equipment to the asteroid belt to bring back rare earth elements. This will allow humanity to build all the renewable energy and automation necessary to solve climate change, create a new global economy based on voluntary labor, and grant us control over our own lives. It will also ease our transition into space. The internal tower represents the unfolding recovery of self-knowledge. It is a tower whose scaffolding will be described by our priests, but whose assembly can only be done by the individual member of the order. The ascension of the internal tower will give us the power of will necessary to create the physical tower. The goal of both, the goal of the tower, is liberation individually and socially. Our duty as members of OCI is to create reminders, memes, and materials that the tower will assemble. It is a tangible prophecy in the sense that we will create it on purpose. It is not a mere prediction which describes a future reality. Rather, it is a blueprint for reality, which the members of OCI take it upon themselves to help bring to fruition. It is an atheistic prophecy. It does not require a God to be true. Rather, it requires people. Its reality will rely wholly on the intent, will, and action of our membership. FP 15. Achieving Godhood. This is a consequence of the internal ascent. This is a path that you must take on your own. If you read what is written and meditate upon it, you will be able to achieve this. It starts by denying all external pressures. It ends by dethroning God. The trail is yours to blaze. 16. The Great Frontier. This represents humanity's never-ending quest for knowledge, invention, and attainment. It is the greatest use of our time and energy. It is the secret to immortality. It is the means by which we liberate the earth and ourselves. Through questions, through art, through engineering, science study, meditation, through the breakdown and buildup of new ways of thinking, we slowly grasp and make useful everything towards our common ends. The Great Frontier represents the quest for the new and the realization of our promises. It is our breakthrough into space. It is new vaccines. It is inquiry. By and through the Great Frontier, we improve ourselves in the world. It is the honor of the order to serve humanity towards these ends. 17. Lucifer Sophia. Lucifer means the bearer of light. Sophia means wisdom. Lucifer Sophia is the order's intention to create a new kind of human being. We desire to use the best of our knowledge and intention to design a biologically immortal person, not through violence, but through voluntary self-will. We intend to create and inspire new genetic models, cloning, gene therapy, DNA manipulation, non-pregnant forms of human reproduction, and alternatives to the biological two-person model of regenesis. We make her so that our species can find a way to finally conquer death. By overcoming this, the greatest and oldest of all hurdles, we will enable humanity to reach for the stars, to look within, and to recreate reality as gods forever. Lucifer Sophia, the first eternal creation, is also the first step of a continual process. The process of galactic expansion, of learning, of the recombination of formerly mindless matter into a universe of applied purpose. Lucifer Sophia is the universe itself becoming alive and aware. As the priests of the order transform materia by force under will into her, the process of willful animation, of connected consciousness, expands ever outward. When she is born, her name will be Lucifer Sophia, the first immortal human being, the promise of eternal life, the bringer of light and wisdom. Alam. FP 18. 33 affirmations. 1. The OCI recognizes Lucifer Sophia as true wisdom and spiritual inspiration. 2. OCI does not require or forbid its members to equip a particular set of mythological characters while we do Lucifer's work. 3. OCI recognizes Materia as the only Messiah. 4. OCI recognizes the pseudo-prophecies as a guide toward immediate liberation, seeking to manifest pseudo-prophecy 1 and avoid pseudo-prophecy 2. 5. OCI recognizes the Godhood of all its members. 6. OCI recognizes a perfect self-possessed reason that exists within each of its members. 7. OCI recognizes the ability of its members to use their will to transform materia with intention. 8. OCI delegates full power to its members to live as co-equals with all humans, gods, and other persons, divine or flesh. 9. OCI recognizes and respects all genders. 10. OCI recognizes no spiritual apocalypse. 11. OCI recognizes the possibility of human-caused ecocide. 12. OCI prioritizes material results, but derives them by careful consideration to transform materia into Lucifer Sophia by intention through will. 13. OCI will make continual material efforts to solve climate change in an attempt to avoid pseudo-prophecy 2. 14. OCI recognizes the absolute freedom of gods over themselves. 15. OCI recognizes the absolute freedom to feed, clothe, house, and fuck oneself and others who consent. 16. OCI recognizes the reality of bodily autonomy. 17. OCI recognizes mindful consent between adults as the only useful metric of personal morality. 18. OCI recognizes ecocide as non-consensual harm. 19. OCI recognizes the choice of abortion for anyone who may be pregnant. 20. OCI recognizes offspring within the uterus as being an integral part of the person who is pregnant and therefore subject to the pregnant one's bodily autonomy. 21. OCI does not recognize new human life until after it has left the uterus of the pregnant person or else had its umbilical cord permanently severed. 22. OCI recognizes marriage between any number of consenting adults of any gender combination. 23. OCI does not require its members to respect laws or property of institutions or people. OCI recognizes the ability of its members to use reason to avoid direct confrontation with authority, so long as doing so does not lead to pseudo-prophecy 2. 25. OCI recognizes the ability of its members to self-transform, self-transmute, and self-create. 26. OCI recognizes the life of each of its members as a continual progression of refinement, with no restraint on exploration and discovery, so long as the 33 affirmations are honored. 27. OCI sees the universe as the dwelling place of its members, with no restraint on exploration or discovery, so long as the 33 affirmations are honored. 28. OCI recognizes the supremacy of creation, study, and discovery in human life, and strives to bring access to knowledge to all its members and, by extension, all beings everywhere. 29. OCI supports the free transmission of ideas, invention, art, science, philosophy, and all the works of the mind toward the eventual goal of complete liberation. 30. OCI recognizes no human institution or organization as perfect or permanent. 31, 32, 33. Give us your money. Give us your blood. Give us your time. In all situations, use your reason to determine what act is most likely to transform materia into Lucifer Sophia. Ave Lucifer, Ave CHAO, Ave Materia, Ave Order, Ave Self. Olam. Thus concludes section 3.1 of the Book of the Order of Celestial Integration. We'll pick up next time in 3.2 with FP19, the Pseudo-Prophecies. I will see you then. Olam.